What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black, coming back once again to talk about spring games. I've been reading a lot of articles where it's been talking about, should spring games be canceled? Should they change the format? I like the old traditional format. I don't think spring games should be canceled. As far as the format, Coach Kalen DeBoer came in last season and changed the format of the Alabama spring game, and I didn't like it. You didn't know whether it was the second or third quarter. I mean, the game ended abruptly. I don't even know if they had a clock running, but I didn't like it. And then you got Ole Miss having dunk contests, freaking playing flag football, some shit called the Grove Bowls. If I was an Ole Miss fan, I wouldn't appreciate that. I'm coming to these games expecting to see some football, some hitting. And if I drive 9 freaking hours to watch Alabama in a spring game and they come out playing some flag football, I would be pissed and I'm leaving. I'll just be them wasted my time. That's the way I feel about it. And we can all thank Nebraska's head coach, Matt Rule, for all this commotion. Because he was the first one to come out talking about canceling spring games. But I can understand why. He's talking about this transfer portal. It's the Wild Wild West, and you go out and play the spring game. These games are televised, and every coach, they looking. And they can come out and try to tamper with your players, poaching your players, enticing them with NIL deals. That can happen. And so I understand that, but as a college football fan, I want to see spring games, the traditional spring game. Football. That's what I want to see. Even though it ain't nothing but a spring game, ain't nothing but a glorified practice, I want to see it. Because it's giving us fans a glimpse of what our team could possibly be for the upcoming season. I want to see it. I don't want to cancel. I don't want the format change. And I hope Coach Kalen DeBoer will go back to the traditional way of playing the daggone spring game. Now, I don't know what he did over there at Washington for the spring game, but he brought that trash to Alabama. And I don't want, well, I'll look at it, but I would rather for it to be the old way. And I read several articles. Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, Missouri, Alabama, they wasn't talking about too much. So I'm going to take some pieces from the Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, what they was talking about. And I agree with them, but I don't want them to change their format or cancel the spring game. But when it comes to Tennessee, Coach Josh Heupel and the Volunteers are coming off their second consecutive 10-win season, a promising power in the SEC's future. Should they consider removing their spring game? Do they have a reason to put their elite talent on display for inferior teams to pick apart their roster? No, they don't. But I still want them to play their damn spring game. They ain't got no reason to do it other than to give the fans a show. Get a practice in and this last practice in. I mean, it's on TV. So, hey, give the fans a chance to have something to cheer about and to watch. It's the last practice, man. But you're still taking a chance. The Vols have been very successful in recruiting in the past few years, with their past 3 classes all finishing inside the top 15. With that volume of talent, it is inevitable that some players will have to wait their turn and develop into true starters. With the portal being so prominent, a lot of these players that are the potential future of the program are being convinced by other programs to join forces. How can Coach Heupel expect his program to reach the next level if his players are leaving? Perhaps removing the game where talented backups are fighting to show that they are starter worthy and will likely start at several other programs would benefit the Vols. Yes, sir. They coming after the future of the program. Some of these players that these other teams are targeting, they targeting simply because they balled out during the spring game. Some of these players probably won't even get playing time during the season. And those are the players that's the future of the program. So to lose that, it wouldn't be good, even though you have players coming in the next year, year after year after year, to lose the future of the program is not good. It's not good. So I agree with everything this article about Tennessee said as far as what I just read. And no team really have a good reason to put all that talent on display. Even though, like I said, they holding back. They not putting everything out there, during the spring game. But it just gives them a little bit of glimpse what is possible with these players. When it comes to Georgia, the Georgia Bulldogs are a team that has become extremely susceptible to poaching because of the revolving door of elite talent recruited to their roster. Head coach Kirby Smart has even stated multiple times on record that he feels that the depth of his team have been diminished over the past few seasons because of the transfer portal, because of tampering. With roster poaching becoming an increasingly large problem in college football and teams already taking liberty with the format of their spring game, should the Bulldogs follow suit, altering the format of the game or canceling it altogether would certainly disappoint fans and boosters greatly. If roster poaching and tampering become an increasingly large issue within the Bulldogs roster, Smart and his staff may be forced to make some changes. Shit, I'm going to tell you right now, poaching, tampering, it's already a problem for them Georgia Bulldogs. A lot of players may not fall into it, but I guarantee you it's a problem. And I guarantee you teams, coaches are tampering with Georgia players probably on a daily basis. I can guarantee it. Not even the players, the recruits that probably are not even there yet. Because Georgia in recent history has been a very successful program, and they have been putting out elite talent. Look at the NFL. Elite talent. Look at those players, what those former Georgia Bulldogs players are doing in the NFL. Look at those Philadelphia Eagles on the defensive side of the ball, filled with Georgia Bulldog players, and they've just won a Super Bowl. That's even more reason for these college coaches to go after these players on this Georgia Bulldog football program. And not just the defensive players, the offensive players too. Come on now. That's shit. I'm just saying. Now, Georgia, if that's one team, if they want to cancel or change the format, I wouldn't like it either. But I would understand because they got talent stacked on top of talent. I know Kirby Smart say his depth done diminished over the past few seasons, but damn. How much you want? Talent stacked on top of talent. When it comes to South Carolina, with Coach Beamer's goal of becoming a perennial playoff contender, should he consider going the route that Matt Rule talking about, canceling their spring game or changing the format? Should he? After rallying to a 9-3 regular season finish after a disappointing 5-7 season the year prior, the Gamecocks are moving closer toward the national spotlight. If they lose a top recruit due to poaching, tampering, they do not have the reinforcements that fall in line with other programs that have a plethora of blue chippers on their roster may be able to. Without having those reinforcements, Coach Beamer has been able to turn his program's fortune around. It's paramount he holds on to as much of the roster he built as possible. As their record and recruiting continues to improve, it is safe to assume the Gamecocks will become a consistent supplier for teams who are looking to focus on the portal for their success. If any SEC teams decide to go the route of canceling the spring game, do not be surprised if most in the country follow suit. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised. But as far as South Carolina, yes, Shane Beamer got to hold on to his players because he don't have the depth of an Alabama, of a Georgia, of a Tennessee. He don't have that kind of depth. He don't have that kind of talent. But the talent he does have, he got to hold on to him. Now, that's one team that just might need to reconsider their format. Not just canceling the game altogether, their format. Because they just don't have the depth. They don't have the reinforcements. They don't. So I would agree with South Carolina if they, cancel their game or change the format. But I don't think every team should do it. Because I'm a college football fan and I love college football. And tell me if you agree, should teams cancel their game? Or should they change the format? I, for one, don't think so. But I also understand how these coaches are feeling. Because these spring games are televised and every coach is watching. But just let me know what y'all think. Now remember, be blessed. And remember, KB don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. And roll damn Tide.